Well, guys, welcome back to the channel. I'd like to thank the guys that have subscribed. Today we're going to take a look at a Rivarossi 280 tender drive motor. And what we're going to do is replace the open face bearing in it. I'm going to change it out and put this little flange bearing in. We'll see if that'll work. If ever you go to take these apart, you're going to need a pair of vice grips that you could fit in between your pinion here and the housing. You got to hold that shaft tight, because if you don't, there's a bunch of little balls in here inside, and when you go to separate it, they will all fall out. And that is exactly what I did. I went to separate it, didn't know that it was an open face bearing. All the balls fell out and they hit the rug, and they're probably only like a millimeter in diameter. So I figure change the bearing out to a flange bearing, then I don't have to worry about that problem. Also, there's an adjustment screw. I'll try and come closer for you. Right here in the center, in between your brushes. That screw adjusts the tension on that bearing, on those balls inside. So you don't want to play with that screw. Like, don't loosen it up thinking, try and figure out, oh, what's this for? Because you could do the same thing, cause it to have too much play in there, and then the balls would fall out. So looking at the inside, I think we'll have enough room for a flange bearing in there. So first thing we got to do is get our pinion off. Let's get this pressed off and go from there. This is always fun lining up. Boy, boy, boy. I bought this puller and it didn't come with a handle. Well, hopefully it'll work with the Allen wrench. Yeah, that's turning it. Now I've got to get on center. It's a pretty neat little puller. It's got different tips for different styles. Different size pinions. Hopefully this is the right size. Yeah, it looks like we're getting it. All right. Pinion is off. Okay. All right, so now we could take our screws out. Hopefully this is the right flange bearing. And 2mm shaft, so that much works. I'm just gonna have to get it to pass where it's knurled for where the pinion sits. And then I don't know why they got this little hub on here. I don't know if that comes off. It's like a ring. Or is that built in the shaft? We might have to grind that down to make it work, to get our bearing in past there. And like I said, when you go to separate these, that was the thing. I wasn't holding my shaft, so then the armature was actually floating around. And magnets and all want to come out. That's okay though if they do. That's all I wanted to do, was clean up the armature and ohm it out, make sure it was all good. The engine didn't run when I got it. Yeah, that looks like it's stepped, so I guess we're going to have to file that down or grind it off. It's hard to tell. Looks like it might even be like a solder on, but I don't think we're going to get in there with this. If we could pull it. I guess we could try. If it moves, it moves. If it don't, it don't. We'll just file it down. Nope, that's not moving. Okay, we'll have to file that down. Now, will the bearing fit in our housing here into the plate? Now, as you can see, that's all it is. It's just a opening face bearing, and the balls will sit in there. And then your armature is tapered for the balls to ride against. So if anything, I might have to put a little spacer in there once I get this ring off. I don't know how well you can see that ring. So I might have to put a little spacer inside just to keep the windings off the face of the bearing. Trying to see which way to put this bearing in. Press from the inside out, so it's a tight fit. I wonder if this bearing's the same diameter. Well, she looks like she is, so that'll be good. That'll fit. Our flange, well, our flange is a lot smaller, so when I put the bearing in, we should be good. And just got to get rid of that. Okay, I'm gonna have to go get rid of that ring off there, and I'm gonna press that guy out, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I pressed the bearing out. I didn't grind this down yet. I decided I wanted to check the armature. I ohmed out the commutator, and I'm getting 11 one way, and I'm only getting 5.6 ohms on one of the plates, so which means we have bad windings. So I guess I'll have to unsolder the wire, see what size it is, and get some wire ordered, and we'll count the windings and all, and rewind the armature. Haven't done one in HO. I've done them in Lionel's, O scale before. So, we'll see how it comes out. So I guess that's it for this one until I get some wire ordered and get that in next week. This is pretty fine wire. It's probably down around like 36 gauge, I'd say. It's pretty thin. But so that's about it for this one. And next video, maybe we'll take a look at some of the stuff I picked up. I picked up a few more engines. Actually, I got two more 280 consolidates of Rivarossi's. One does have a bad chassis in the tender, and the other one is got a good chassis. So maybe we could get them running, see what's wrong with them. I know they didn't run when I bought them. I bought some rolling stock. I also bought an 027 Lionel engine, modern era from 1985, I think it is. I usually only buy the post-war stuff, but that one just happened to be a Lackawanna, so that's the only reason why I bought it. So next video, we'll take a look at some of the stuff that I picked up recently and see what our next project is until I get my wire in for this one. And I'm debating. I don't know if that bearing's not going to fit, so I'm going to have to drill it out. I don't know if I want to go that route or put the original bearing back in and just try and get 1 millimeter ball bearings, and see if we can get this bearing back to work. But I don't know. I mean, because this bearing did the center hole. There is play in it, so when I put the shaft up in it, it does wobble. So yeah, I mean, you don't have the balls in there, but still, it shouldn't wobble that much. So I think we will put that other bearing, the flange bearing, in, but first we'll have to rewind the armature and take it from there. All right, hope you all have a rest of your day good, and let's keep our trains running. See you in the next video.